One Star Cowboys podcast, presented by Haymaker. Now here's your host, Kevin KT Turner.
It's the final One Star Cowboys podcast of the 2025 calendar year. I'm Kevin Turner. We have John Machota. We have Kent Garrison. Saad Youssef doing a little radio work over at the Ticket. So he's not with us for this midweek podcast, which we do at the Haymaker Studios here in Frisco, Texas. Thank you to Haymaker for having us. Very nice in here, very cozy. John, let's get right to it. John, I've read a lot of your work at The Athletic, things to look forward to in the Giants game. The road to Topeka with our picks at the end of the show, I might be just excluding the Cowboys-Giants game for that reason, because there's a lot of games that don't matter. What do you think about this Brian Flores rumor, though? Is that anything to you? Because the Cowboys fan base is kind of leeching onto this, and they're eating it like a zombie in The Walking Dead. What do you think?
I mean, it's possible. How many defensive coordinators that are having success leave that job for a non-head coaching job? So that's the part where I get it's on the internet, and this is the time of year when if your team's not in the playoffs, you want to grab onto any of that stuff. And he's obviously what you'd want. You want somebody that's going to be super aggressive. You don't want a defense that's just going to sit back and be bend but don't break. You want it to be a defense that sacks the quarterback and takes the ball away. And his defenses do that. So I get it, and it sounds good. I'll believe it when I see it. I'd say my biggest reason for thinking it would be a possibility is if Jerry really wants him, he certainly can pay him whatever he wants. But then the other part of it is whoever it is, even if it's not Brian Flores, it's got to be an attractive job because you know that the personnel is better than the way that it performed. I mean, I think this defense would have been better if it had Quinton Williams from week one to begin with. And so if you're able to turn that around, which is not going to take a ton, it's an awful defense. So if you show that you can make it middle of the pack, like a solid defense, and then crazy if it's top 10, you're putting yourself right in to get a head coaching job somewhere. So that part I could see being attractive to him, but I think it also depends on how he feels about his situation and who he's working with in Minnesota.
That's what I was kind of thinking about this whole thing is, first of all, there's no evidence really that Jerry is willing to go and overpay. And maybe this was enough of a wake-up call on the defense that it's like, yeah, I guess we have to. And you can see why Brian Flores would be a hot name. They've had abysmal quarterback play all year, and they're still able to go in 6 or 7 games. Whatever. We know what Brian Flores does. We know what he's about. To me, I just don't see like this being like a realistic fit for a lot of different reasons. Brian Flores' defense will need a bit of a big makeover. He's going to come in and you're going to get the first 2 draft picks this year, hypothetically, and it's still not going to fix it. Like there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done. And then the other thing, to me, it's just like type of background here because we just usually hire guys we know. I mean, it's kind of a big track record of that. And I don't even know if the reporting on this was like even out there. Like when they got Parcells in the late 2000s, did they money whip Bill Parcells? And I know it's a different position. I just don't see the Cowboys overspending at the coaching position, even though you could argue it's the thing they should do. And they just don't do that. And I don't buy any of this Jerry's going to change stuff, and I know Jerry's saying these things. I just don't buy it.
I've always felt like the Cowboys, to some extent, feel like they're kind of the hottest girl at the bar, that it's fine. We won't have to overpay. They'll come here. They'll be attracted. You'll want to coach here. And I don't know if that's really worked out. And my big thing on if you're just going to pay any coaches, then why wouldn't you at least bring in Mike Vrabel for an interview? Why wouldn't you bring in Ben Johnson? It seemed like that would have been what you'd want to do if you were the big spenders that obviously they should be, and they haven't been. But I keep going back to, on your point on them only hiring people they know, I don't know that they really knew Dan Quinn that well.
That's true.
And I feel like that's where we're at right now. We are in 2020 all over again with a new head coach, a first-year offensive coordinator or defense coordinator that didn't work out. And so now I could see them going for a little bit bigger name, somebody more established. Not to say Matt Eberflus wasn't. He's a previous head coach.
Yeah.
But that's the only reason why in that particular case I could see them potentially spending a little bit more than they normally would.
What you said is actually kind of optimistic as we turn the calendar to 2026, because if we're in 2020 all over again, we're staring down 3 straight 12-win seasons and trips to the playoffs and a chance at the thing. Now we got to get that generational pass rusher. That's going to be something. We'll talk about that later, maybe. We might not. But I do like the idea of the Cowboys being at the bar. The bartender's like, "Hey, what do you have to drink?" And they're like, "Hold on, no. They're gonna buy us a drink." No.
100%. They will come to us. Just wait. Just wait it out.
Is there anyone else? Because Brian Flores gets thrown out there because it's a name. Brian Flores is not under contract next year, I guess, right? All this stuff's like weirdly not always open to the public.
Yeah, assistant coaches aren't. So yeah.
So, but it feels like he could go. But it's like, will a team hire him as a head coach even?
I find that maybe hard to believe. I don't know. I guess it all depends on how many jobs open up.
Yeah,
but that also depends on how many coaches are fired that have defensive backgrounds that they could then be the Cowboys' next DC. And so I think that factors in, like we've talked about before, Raheem Morris or Jonathan Gannon. But then if you stick with a coordinator, I think Jim Schwartz up in Cleveland would make some sense. He's a lot of what I said earlier, aggressive, had a lot of success calling defenses. He would make a lot of sense. I can see people mentioning Matt Patricia, especially if Ohio State wins a national championship. He obviously wasn't a very good head coach, but I could see people in the league thinking that he would be a good defensive coordinator hire. I don't know that I would love that, but that would be a possibility. But yeah, I think it depends on what other coaching staffs make changes and make guys available that maybe you don't even know as of today will be available.
This may be a dumb question, but would Shoddy get any say in any of this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. My thing is, though, I don't know that Matt Eberflus's hire is shoddy. We've already determined this, so just deal with it. I think this is the problem with the Cowboys. They do things in a certain way that allows people to speculate to an extreme on everything, to where you just think everything is rigged, everything Jerry did like this. And while there is some truth to that, there's a lot of things where you're like, come on now. There is just some things that just happen because they just happen,
Well, you say it's a problem. I say it's $13 billion net valuation every 6 months when Forbes releases the
Jerry
thing.
would say the same thing.
Number one.
Yeah.
My other question on this defensive coordinator thing is it a sign that Eberflus knows he's out that he doesn't let Logan Wilson play in a meaningless game on Christmas Day?
I kind of viewed it that way. I can't buy the whole, forgot to play him. Something remind me.
What?
Like there's just 700 guys on the sideline. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just so many guys over there.
It's not exactly forgetting where you put your keys. I wouldn't say Logan Wilson's the key or anything, but it is kind of like, okay, I guess I didn't wear I didn't tie my shoe, you bend over and you tie your shoe.
Middle of the second quarter, and Schottenheimer just like, oh, wow. Joe Milton's been in this game. We got to play. We forgot to play Dak. Dak, get in there.
Come on.
What are we doing?
Dak.
I mean, I just can't buy that excuse. To not play one snap.
That is weird.
That is. So
and
when you do things like that,
you
do open the window for conspiracy theories when you do things like that. I will give you that.
It is weird.
That is true.
Because even like the Lions game, when you sit there and go, okay, maybe the defense is not fixed and the season starts to crumble. Even that game, I kind of went, I still think Jerry wants to keep Eberflus here. I actually did buy that Jerry wants some stability there. I know he doesn't want to make changes at defensive coordinator year in and year out. No one does. And quite frankly, it's a very dumb way to do business. They're not doing it intentionally. This is kind of how it's just worked out for them. So like, I did think that they want Eberflus to work. I truly believe that because of the family thing and just he's been here. But
yeah, I don't know about the family thing as much as the continuity thing you mentioned. They would love if, it's a bad defense. They start the season 3-5-1, go into the bye week, make the trade for Quinnen Williams, and we can't say Logan Wilson trade anymore because clearly they're not utilizing him. So we're just going to focus on Quinnen Williams. So they do that trade, and then they win their next 3 games. Yeah, nobody was expecting you to go from like 29th, 30th defense to, 10, top 5. But at least look like you're making progress, and he would have kept the job. But then these last 4 games, I mean, who's watching these last 4 games and going, we need to keep this continuity? We got something here. Let's keep this together. I mean, this is professional sports here. This isn't the local, we got to keep Jim on the staff. He's friends with my wife, and my wife's friends. We're not doing this. This is professional sports here. And what they've shown in the last 4 games, it looks so much like the first 3-5-1, 9 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing too is like you rarely, and you would know more than me as the guy who basically has transcribed everything Jerry's ever said. But I feel like you never hear Jerry speak specifically about positions. Rarely, okay? And for him to say some of the things he was saying, at the linebacker, we need those instincts, and just whatever Jerry said about the position and the play. And Jerry's like, why did I make this trade? If we're not going to do it, like, I think it's pissed him off a little bit. And no one really thinks Logan Wilson would make that big of a difference. But it's like, can you at least, like, I got a new car. Can I at least drive it a little bit?
Well, early on in the season, when the season started, I think a lot of people looked at Kenneth Murray as like, again, where you can assume this with the Cowboys, they just forced him on Eberflus. He was cheap. They were like, we need another linebacker, whatever. I've never believed that. I've always felt like it was Eric Kendricks to Mike Zimmer.
Sure.
Bobby Wagner to Dan Quinn. Like I got to get one of my guys in here that knows what I like to do for him to call my defense. I think of that more so than I think of it as, yeah, Matt, you just got to deal with this guy. And as the season's gone on, I believe it even more. I mean, including the not playing Logan Wilson to play Kenneth Murray. Like Kenneth Murray is this awesome star player that you just can't keep him on the sidelines. You have to have him out there. So that part of it also is where I'm like, all right, clearly that's his guy. And linebacker is his position. I mean, before being a DC, Matt Eberflus was a linebacker coach, and these linebackers, the play is awful. I mean, let's be honest. I'm not watching every single game of every team this entire season. I'd love to show me some clips of who you think are worst linebackers or have worst linebacker play, because I don't want to say worst linebackers.
Yeah.
The reason I don't want to say worst linebackers is because I've said this all season. I can see a world where next year Maris Leofau looks good. Different DC, and then we look here and we're like, why didn't he play more?
Yeah.
Because he showed too much last year for me to think that he is what he is this year.
Sure.
So I add that in with, wait a second, who has made a jump? Who is playing better football than they did last year on the Cowboys, And so when you start factoring all those things in, and including, it goes back to what you said about Jerry, like listening to Jerry talk all the time, there's plenty of ways that Jerry could sit there and make it like, yeah, we're still going to think about this. We don't really know with Matt's a good coach, but he's not saying that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
He's making it painfully obvious. And because of that, I think people look, they'll just finish that game against the Giants and they'll fire him the next day. No, they'll do their process and whatever. It'll probably drag on for a little bit, and people will say, they're keeping him in that.
Names will get snapped.
Honestly, I don't know how you can go into training camp next year and roll it back and be like, yeah, no. We need continuity. This is the second year. We're going to go through this.
We made the trade, and then draft picks.
Yeah.
And then, easy things to sell,
Right.
But, no.
But you have to, then other pieces, you have to have a different DC.
Kent, let's go ahead and put on our ultraviolet goggles on and go inside the blue tent. I have a question here. This is one of the most dangerous fields to play on in the NFL up there at MetLife. Should Dak Prescott play?
I don't think he should. I know a lot of people argue one way or another. That's why it's a topic all week. I don't think he should. I lean more on the meaningless side than the momentum side with where things are this season. I don't think if Dak sits this game out, Joe Milton plays all four quarters, say they lose 27-20, I don't look at it as like, this is going to be a tough offseason for them to overcome that loss to Jackson Dart and the Giants. Like, I would look at it as, they arrested a bunch of dudes. So I don't think he should. I know everybody in the building disagrees with me, but...
Everybody? Everybody that matters?
That's a good question.
Everybody that has a say? What's that? How, if you're Steven?
I'll just go down the most important people in that decision-making.
Okay. What's the Cowboys totem pole? I kind of don't know.
Well,
Jerry.
And in this particular case, I think it's different for different situations. Like when it comes to the draft, Will McClay would factor into that. Whereas with a decision like this with Dak, I don't see Will McClay factoring in a ton on something like that. So I would say for this particular decision, it's Jerry, Brian Schottenheimer, and Dak. And all three of them, I think, want him to play. I mean, I know that Dak wants to play. But that my thing is the Washington game. It's not even the taking the hits in the pocket. It's the pocket collapsing. Nobody is in the second level. Dak tucks it and runs.
Dude,
That's the type of stuff where you're just like,
Romo preseason game
Yeah.
in Seattle without Tyron Smith. We don't need to get this first down, but you can't help it because these guys,
sometimes you got to protect them from themselves.
these guys be out playing pickup basketball and they're diving for loose balls.
Yeah.
Like it's just like it's in them. They can't take it out. To me, no.
Yeah.
Clear no. And they might have the arrogance of, well, Dr. Cooper is the guy. So if anything did happen,
No,
I've got
I don't
that in
think-
my back pocket.
I could see that at 26-year-old Dak. Not now. No,
Dude,
they don't want.
There's no reason.
No.
This is not a meaningful game. And I'm not even saying that from the tank perspective because I don't
Right.
even think it helps you that much. There's just a lot of teams in that area that they're at, and with their 2 picks, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Currently, 14th pick. That Green Bay pick is the 21st pick. Like, if Tampa Bay wins that game, maybe there's a way you could get down to 11th, 12th, or 13th. Maybe to 10th even if. But it's not likely. That's kind of where you are. It's done. There's no reason. This seems like the easiest thing. And okay, they're going to say this. Well, you guys don't know. You guys don't play. So you guys don't. And Jerry's saying, well, you guys don't understand how much winning means and how motivational that is to us. It doesn't matter because we're going to be on to the next part of business right when the season's over.
Yeah, I didn't play, and I haven't made these decisions. But so I got this thing called eyes, and what I can do with them is not just watch Cowboys games.
Yeah.
So sometimes I do this thing. It's crazy on Sundays where I'll watch other teams.
Dude, when you get to do that,
Wild.
it's pretty awesome.
Some of them even have maybe a better quarterback, like maybe Kansas City. And they sometimes get hurt too, to where it's such a serious injury that it might impact the start of next season. So how does that impact your momentum? So if you want to play him and that's your decision and everybody's on board, that's great. But you're not going to tell me I'm an idiot for saying that, well, there's some reasons why I probably shouldn't.
Yeah. Well, this is. Let's just wait. If let's look at everything then. Like we talked about the Sun game, and Schottenheimer I thought had a very wild answer to that. They have models and they track the sun.
Yeah,
and he was put in a bad position, okay, because he's got to answer a question about the sun, which he probably doesn't think about because he's got enough crap on his plate that he's not thinking about the sun coming through the windows. But he talked about we have satellite models and all this stuff, and I'm like, come on, man. Because he knows Jerry's not going to do anything about it.
Right.
But he had to put himself that way. This is the thing where, if we're looking at everything, let's just look at the injury history at MetLife Stadium. I mean, and yeah, you have to play there every year, and you've made it through without any injuries in that game plenty of times. Why? It does not matter.
Just think about how much momentum you'd get off of beating the Giants again.
Dude,
wow.
Can we just release next year's schedule right after the game? Because I'm ready to start getting ready for, the Giants in week 1. Actually, the Giants is a week 2 thing over the last couple years.
I might be more interested in this schedule coming up than any ever before because this international game thing.
I'm
pretty excited about this.
Next year's opponents looks kind of tough if you look at it. A lot of playoff teams. Well,
I don't care about that as much as possible.
Because you have to go.
Yes.
Or you get to go.
Yes.
You get to go.
I get to go.
Well, it's your job, so you
I
have
want
to go.
Depending on where it's at. Maybe
Where will you not want to go to, John?
Yeah, where would you not want to go?
I don't want to say that and offend anybody.
Yeah, because everyone will get defended. People like to
I have
protect their
thoughts.
country.
There's
Yeah.
a name that popped in my head immediately.
So let's
All
say,
right, I'll
the
just
count of
say it.
3.
Hey,
1, 2.
No. I'll just say
I
it.
think I know.
All right, what is it?
Brazil.
No, it's Mexico City because it wouldn't feel like it's that far away. How far is that flight?
2 hours.
Dude.
Right.
The food, though.
Send me to Australia.
Good
So that's
day,
a long
mate.
flight.
Is there a stadium there?
You want to
There's
go?
definitely stadiums.
I would love it.
Because you're on the Cowboys team playing.
All of it.
Australia doesn't do much for me, but I would have to fly American or whatever.
I just want something that seems like I'm leaving the country. So far, when I've covered the Cowboys, that's because I didn't get to go with them in 14 to London. So for me, it's just Hawaii.
Okay.
Which that's further than what Mexico City would be.
Yeah.
That's the only one where it's like, now if they do Mexico City and another one, then I'm fine with that.
I must be a homebody because I'm kind of like the shortest flight's what I would like.
I wanted the experience. I want
Potential
something.
hot take here, too. I know Mexico's not that far. Actually, I just got back from there a few days ago. It feels more like a foreign country than London.
Okay. I'm not looking at it from any other perspective other than that the short flight would not make it seem like it's a real like international game, like massive time change. And
It's
all
all about
that.
the flight for you.
And because I didn't get to go to London last time, and I wouldn't mind it being London,
Yeah.
again.
Well,
I
it'd
don't
be
think
cool.
it will be, but
Why do you want to go on a long flight if you're the guy that doesn't sleep on the plane?
we're going to figure this out,
Oh, okay.
okay?
Gonna,
Sacrifice.
I'm not saying that I want to cover the team doing this all the time. I want to do it once for the
Okay.
experience and the stories.
Copy.
we'll blow through.
And the camaraderie we'll build along the way.
Yeah, we'll give you some TV series to watch over the
Yeah.
Atlantic. Quickly, you got to watch Red Zone Sunday because you normally don't get to. You normally
Yeah.
Sunday. Either.
Yeah.
It is our best product. This is a small rant. In fact, it might be time.
I got red zone thoughts.
Yeah. So they're forcing commercials in, and that's been a big. Let me just tell you, the people who are outraged about commercials being on the Red Zone channel, what did you think was going to happen to the best American product we have? Red Zone is perfect. I mean, it's outstanding. They don't miss. Occasionally, the audio will go out. So if they flash up a 10-second spot, who cares? Imagine not having it. Like, I think it's I think we're nitpicking and griping about some things, and there are bigger things to be concerned about than a 10-second commercial popping up 15 times during NFL Red Zone.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys are like this or not, but like somebody said something to me the other day at one of their practices about some type of commercial that was on during one of the games.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm being completely honest with you, I can't even remember the last commercial that I really watched, because if I'm watching a game on TV and it goes to commercial, I go right to my phone and I'm on Instagram or Twitter. I'm not paying attention to what the commercials are and what they're selling. I couldn't even tell you what are the top commercials right now. I would never pay attention to commercials. So if they're, I don't know, I look at it as like there's just so many other things to do than worry about a commercial right now.
Check the phone.
Yeah.
Hit the laptop. Who tweeted
This
this?
is all, by the way, probably bad for us.
Oh, no.
I mean, this thing right
Well-
here is our generation's cigarettes.
Oh, it's
We're going
down
to find out some
Yeah.
real bad things.
Oh, no doubt.
Really bad.
No doubt. The
But I'm
studies are not going to be.
Way
helped me
worse
too-
than cigarettes.
Yeah.
It's helped me too much professionally.
Oh,
How
yeah.
much have cigarettes helped anyone professionally?
It might have a little business trip, smoking with the boss.
I
I
will
don't
say-
usually smoke. It's like learning how to play golf.
True, and I do like a good cig in a conversation dialogue in a
Oh.
movie. It does add something to
I
it.
was saying I like a good cig with a drink, and I don't smoke
Okay,
at all.
all
But
right.
like, I just
Does that help you
go to the
professionally?
bar and go
though?
outside and have a cigarette.
How's
Oh,
that-
I love it.
How does that help you professionally?
I mean, look at me now.
That's true. Look at where you are now.
Look at me now.
You never would have got to this table.
Kit, did you say you had a hot NFL Red Zone take?
Yeah, I'm with you on the commercials thing. I think people should only be upset if they're cutting away from the action. You know, like
Yeah.
if it's picture in picture and they're showing an ad and mute the audio for 30 seconds, I think that's totally fine. My issue with Red Zone is more of the host of Red Zone talking over the action constantly. When there's already a play-by-play guy there doing the play-by-play.
Hmm.
I agree that Hansen jumps in a little too much.
Dale Hansen?
Scott Hansen.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
Yes.
Yep.
But
Chris Hansen.
not Chris Hansen either.
Why don't you sit down?
KT knows Chris Hansen,
Yeah, I did.
What do you-
Did some work with
What do
him
you
back
got
in the
those
day.
wine coolers?
unfortunately.
So I forgot where we were now. I've been thrown off.
Scott
Chris
Hansen
Hansen.
jumps in.
Yeah, Red Zone rant, whatever. I think it's great. It's the greatest product we have. People are like, oh my God, a 10-second ad. Well, get through it. You know what? We need to learn patience. We need to learn a little bit of patience. They're not putting it in the middle of a play.
What's
That-
number two? What's the second best thing we have? Because I can't think of a comp. I think you are right. I think it is. the
I
best.
would have said Manning cast like 2 years ago, but I think that's fallen off.
Fell off.
Just football or sports in general?
I was
What?
going to say just completely.
Everything beyond.
Yeah,
Inside the
everything.
NBA.
All right, then if I got to go with. I do love still. I know some people might be played out on the whole. You get Shaq and Charles Barkley in a good back and forth on one of those shows. Like that still
yeah.
to me is pretty
Wonderful.
top of the line, and I don't think I'm wrong on this because just look around the rest of sports and watch all these shows and how they're trying to copy exactly what that show's been.
Dude, Shaq tried to say that he could fill up his gas tank halfway and it would save him money. And I don't even get. It's great because these guys are supposed to be talking about basketball. That's why it's perfect.
When Charles said that, he's like, when you got a big guy on, you got to just bang him.
Got to bang him.
And the way that Cameron just pans over.
Do you guys agree with the notion that Romo has fallen off as a broadcaster?
Yes.
Why?
I think there's a lot of guessing. I think he doesn't identify the players as fast as he used to. Now, when it's still time to look at a defense and talk about what the defense is doing or talk about why the offense has done that, yes, I think it's fine. It's the stuff where Nance will put him on the spot and say, what would you do here, Tony? And Tony goes, I don't know. Well, no, it's 4th and 2, and the ball's on the 39.
That one bothers you more than the could go for it on 4th and 1. Yeah, you could go for it right now. Okay, they're punting.
Tell us what you would do.
What would you do? Yeah.
It's okay
I think
if
he's
you're
pretty
wrong.
similar. I thought it was overblown, the call predicting that happened early in his career.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of same place I'm at, but I will say I do think I've always been a fan of Troy. I think Troy Aikman's the best in the business, and I actually think he's gotten even better.
Yeah, I think Troy's solid. I think that's also a lot of people around here are pretty hard on Joe Buck.
Yeah.
But also having the play-by-play guy just do his job.
Yeah.
And they're just still dealing with this. Like Brady, I don't think Brady's tailed off. Some people have said he's tailed off. I don't believe that. I think Brady's figuring out. The problem with Brady is his veneers are kind of in the way. But Tom Brady diagnosing a defense and talking about the types of throws, he says something every week where I go, if I was a young quarterback, I would write that in my notepad. I mean, I'm just like, that is helpful. But I really,
your phone.
My big gripe about
getting out a pen and writing it down anymore. I don't think.
Yeah, I guess in the phone. Yeah, you're right. Jeez,
I think Brady was legit angry that Phillip Rivers came back and he couldn't go back. I think he was actually mad at himself that he did that Raiders deal when he did, because dang, I could have had one more go here.
For what team?
Any team. I'm just thinking of all the quarterbacks that can come back and win games for you now that are retired, Brady's at the top still.
Yeah.
And it's just a technicality that's keeping him out of the game.
How do you think he would have handled, I don't know, let me think of a scenario here. I'll just say maybe the team owner on the sideline with a headset on.
How Brady would handle that?
Yeah.
I think Brady would, let's say it's New England, right?
No, we're going to say it's exactly the Phillip Rivers situation.
Okay.
That's why I said it.
Okay. I think he would.
She goes over there.
Hey, I don't want to tell you where my mind's going.
She goes over there mid-game and tells him, stop throwing the ball in the flat. We need some big plays.
Does she do that, though?
No, but I'm okay. Can you have some fun for a second? Yes. My God.
I know, but
hey,
let's not act like Carly Ursay is not the angel that she is, Ursay Gordon, I should say.
No, and there's tons of team owners on the sideline with headsets on.
They're all there, yeah.
All there.
Getting the calls.
I'm just saying Brady is in 10 times the shape and mentality that Phillip Rivers was, and it was probably hard.
Oh, he's definitely in better shape than Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers was coming in with a borderline double chin. I mean, we're not going to act like.
Yeah.
I mean, Phil, let's look at the schedule here, dude. You don't have to come back this year. You guys aren't going to win that many games. I was like, that was my thing the whole time. It was like, well, I mean, you can come back and do it, and that's good for you. It's a personal challenge, but the schedules leads to losses.
He goes, I have 10 children in my home.
Get me out of here.
I will take whatever job you have available.
He was the Mr. Lady on Happy Gilmore.
When they pan to that suite and all those kids are up there just playing 5-on-5 basketball. I mean,
he's grandchildren. He has grandchildren.
It's wild.
It's pretty awesome of him to come back for 3 games and take a few sacks from some premier edge rushers just to get his kids some insurance for the next.
I remember hearing a story when the team moved from San Diego, the Chargers, when they moved from San Diego up to LA that first year, that this dude did not want to change anything about the family life. So he would literally get a driver to drive him every day from San Diego to LA, and that would be his time where he just went through the entire playbook and went over everything like that.
They turned his car
single day.
They turned his car into a laboratory.
Yeah.
Where he could watch film and do all this, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of someone who's got grandchildren, Kent, it's time for Jerry Said What?
Now, of course, I know how to count.
Oh, Jerry.
Guess it's good that he knows how to count.
Yeah, I
He's
guess so.
Running a lot of businesses these days. So.
It's like I can count. I can also count how many trades I made and how many players aren't playing each week, Matt. John, I've got something for you here, kind of cobbled together. It's kind of a what's more likely scenario. Now, some of these we've talked about before. Some of these may be obvious, but just go with what you have here. These are just 3 hypotheticals. Number 1, what's more likely? George Pickens more likely to be signed or franchise tagged?
Franchise tagged. I would put that at 75% chance he's a franchise tagged. I also like Jerry on the radio Tuesday morning when he's asked by Bobby Belt, so on those contract negotiations with George, will they be with just George directly, or they involve his agent, or both? And it's just so funny that you even have to ask that. And Jerry was like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, probably both, but I'll definitely be talking to George about it. So it just feels like the way he answered that, I can see a lot of people reading it, listening to it, and thinking, we got another Micah Parsons situation in our hands potentially. But I think franchise tag, yeah.
It feels like it could go that way, but you don't know until you know, I guess. But just the number one thing, maybe not the number one thing, but one of the top things that I would change about how the Cowboys do business is urgency. And I just don't feel that the urgency is there. Even at the trade deadline, and I know the Jets might not have been offering Quinnen Williams 2 weeks before the deadline. I understand that. But it's just another example of things that I can just say, well, if you guys would have acted faster on this, well, at least one of the things that I've laid out, you probably could have acted faster on. You know what I'm saying? Because, I don't know. Number 2, most likely to be the defensive coordinator next year, Matt Eberflus or Brian Flores?
Oh, Brian Flores. I mean, at this point, I think.
Really?
It's not even about Flores, though.
Yeah. You would say most likely, if I said or neither,
or
you would say neither.
Who's the head coach?
Really?
At South Lake Carroll? I don't know. I mean, just
who's the head coach at South Lake
You
Carroll?
don't think it's easier to just run back Flus?
I just think that it's.
Look it
I
up.
think that fate has been sealed. I don't think there's anything that would bring him back at this point.
Let me just tell you that the former South Lake Carroll head coach, Riley Dodge,
Okay.
just took a
doesn't
job
coach
at
defense,
SMU as the tight ends coach at SMU.
It's got to be a defensive guy.
I just shout out my Mean Green fam. That's all I'm doing.
Kent, the reason I'm saying this is
SMU defensive coordinator Scott Simons is a candidate, you're saying? Go ahead, John.
Jerry knows that he can't roll back with Eberflus again.
Yeah.
And there aren't other major changes to be made, and he knows he has to make some type of a move. And that'll be the biggest one for him to make, and I don't see how anybody can argue against it.
I just find it hard to believe Jerry is going to move on this quickly until I see it.
Wow.
You
Okay.
know? And I know that there's smoke, a lot of smoke, but until there's fire, I'm not gonna believe it.
Kent said it. Tweet that out.
I think Flus is Jerry's guy still, and I
Okay.
think Jerry really wants to be right about this and the Micah thing and unconventional season for Matt. Give him a whole off season with a draft and free agency, and let's see where we're at. I think that's where my gut feels like they're going.
Yeah, mine did too a month ago, and then I've seen what's happened since then, particularly with stud quarterbacks like Josh Johnson not really getting touched.
Not getting touched at all.
Also, moves like, but leave the sideline and go up in the booth, and it'll be better up there.
And we're sure we're grasping for straws.
We're trying hard here.
We're clinging to straws while drowning.
Also, by the way, I really like Matt Eberflus. Like, I have nothing against him.
I loved the hire.
I feel bad for the way things went for him in Chicago, but also, like, professionally speaking, I don't know how you think I would sit here and watch this team all year, talk to the people I talk to, and think that he would come back. I just can't see that happening.
Okay, last one here. Most likely for the drafter, most likely to spend both first-round picks on defense or one on defense, one on the offensive line?
Nothing about potentially packaging anything for Max Crosby. Okay.
He said it.
I would say most likely they draft 2 defensive players and they stay right where they're at.
Did you give those 2 firsts for Max Crosby? Is that what you're saying?
2 firsts is a lot.
Because then you have no draft.
Yeah, you have no draft. But I've been covering the
Max
team
Crosby?
for 15 years, so I only have I'm only at the halfway point of the 30-year drought. So for me, trade whatever you want to go get Max Crosby, make my job more exciting. But I don't think they'll do that.
Max Crosby, Quinnen Williams, At that point, you
Brian
don't
Flores.
do anything with. Well, at that point, you don't do anything with Kenny Clark.
I'm telling you, Stephen Jones Monday on the radio certainly made me feel like that Kenny's coming back.
Yeah,
the way he sounded, I was like,
at a restructured number.
Hey, however you get to the finish line, you get there. But I'm just saying, the way he sounded was not. And you can sit there and say, what was he supposed to say? I'll tell you exactly what he was supposed to say. Well, we still got another game left to play. We'll evaluate everything. We're not talking about any players right now.
Yeah.
And he didn't do that. So
they love Kenny Clark.
Just like with Matt Eberflus earlier in the season. Let's not act like there was ever a strong point early in the season.
Yeah.
There's plenty of, we know Matt, he's been here, blah, blah, blah. Haven't heard one of those answers from Jerry Jones or Stephen Jones over the last month and a half. So, yeah.
Yeah. I would love to have Kenny Clark back, too.
Yeah.
I just don't want to.
Great locker room guy, great dude. Does everything the right way. Everybody seems to like him. I'm pretty sure he's going to win our Media Good Guy award.
He probably loves it here way more than in the cold in Green Bay. Like, it's really nice here.
Yeah. I mean, especially being a guy from California. Yeah, for sure.
Let's see here. Again, the guaranteed money's,
it's all paid.
It's all paid.
Yeah.
But it's a $21.5 million cap hit that you can just work with there.
Yeah, I think what it comes down to is, does Kenny Clark think that he can get that or better from another team? And at where he's at in his career, I don't know if that's the case,
I got to say, and I love Kenny Clark. And when the trade happened with Micah, I called Kenny Clark the best defensive tackle we've had here in 20 years.
Yeah, and before Quinnen Williams, he probably was.
Before Quinnen Williams, yeah, maybe.
Well, with 20,
but what is 20? Is
Jay Ratliff's in that?
Jay Ratliff would be in the mix.
Yeah,
there
so 15.
Sure.
We'll go 15 on that. Last 15.
But then to look at, okay, the cap you would save. I'm being loose here with the cap number.
Yeah,
but it's around $20 million.
Okay,
that you would save this year and next year. So you would save $40 million over the next 2 years on the cap, but just knowing how the Cowboys. And then if you were just getting a little drunk here, adding Max Crosby to the mix, just having fun, you kind of can't have that. You kind of need that savings.
That's true.
So the Max Crosby thing's crazy. We're going to go draft at 14 and 23 or wherever they are and go from there.
That's why I just think that's more likely, because even on the trade back, not having a second or third round pick, it makes a lot of sense to try and take one of those first and then add something so you fill in that gap and you're just not drafting there. But I just can see Jerry being like, we got these 2 first round picks. Our second round pick is Quinnen Williams. Our third round pick, because that's the one they gave up, is George Pickens. And I can see them being like, no, we think that these 2 ones are too valuable to move on from. So
here's something no one wants to hear. You might have to draft a running back.
I might have thought that a year ago. Now I think that the Javonte Williams season makes them think that even if they lose Javonte, they feel like they can find another similar type situation.
I would agree with their strategy on that.
Yeah. I don't think that. I think Javonte's success has got them to where they want to keep Javonte, but Javonte's success has also pushed Javonte to where he can go get potentially the Ron Robinson type deal from the Jaguars.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like another team that comes in there is like, oh, wow, this looks exactly like the guy from North Carolina, and he's been healthy now. So I think they want him, but I don't think that they'll get too crazy in a bidding war, because I think they feel like, oh, we can put somebody else in here, because they'll be like, we got Dak Prescott, we got another year with this offensive line, we have CeeDee Lamb on one side, we have George Pickens on the other. We don't need to have a big-time running back. So I don't think that they will spend a high pick on a running back.
Well, we signed Miles Sanders again.
Well,
they'll do better than that.
Maybe not a high pick, but maybe a compensatory 6th rounder on E.J. Smith, John? You think Jerry's going to let that storyline pass him up?
I mean, you can't pass up on the Deuce Vaughn storyline, so why would you do that with E.J.?
Right.
Yeah. 6th, yeah, for sure. But I'm just saying, like, in what I just said about having 2 first-round picks and not thinking that they'll trade and do anything in the second or third, then you're not drafting a running back with those 2 ones. So you wouldn't be taking one until like the 4th or 5th round, which is possible.
You know what feels very Cowboys to me, and we'll see how this is handled. Travis Etienne.
Okay.
That feels very. You know who else is a free agent next year? Is Rico Dowdle too.
Okay.
But like something like that, they had a good little run there. Jacksonville's got a ton of young running backs, so I don't think they're going to try to bring him back. Although Jacksonville can go on a run, and he's a historical Jacksonville figure. Maybe, who knows? That feels like a type of guy. J.K. Dobbins, hurt guy. Sean Payton in Denver. I'm just connecting all Cowboys dots to guys that they might like. Ohio State. You can find Zeke was there. You can just find a way to manifest J.K. Dobbins being next year's Javonte Williams.
Okay.
And that is not the way they should.
You're just going to
this.
jump right over Malik Davis and Jaden Blue like that, huh?
I am.
Phil Maffa doesn't do anything for you?
Phil Maffa doesn't do a lot for me. No.
Okay.
Although I would like to see him play.
I would too. Jerry made it sound like Jaden Blue might see some time, so that'd be
He
nice.
should. Joe Milton?
Why? Why should he?
Why not?
You're playing to win. You're playing for momentum.
I want to see his cool.
You didn't think that you were playing for that in previous games? I thought that's what they were playing for, and they weren't playing him. So why would it change for this game?
That's the difference in them and me right now, because I would only be watching to see what his cool Gucci cleats look like. We're good.
Yeah, that story probably went farther than it needed to.
Probably so, I'd say.
Especially when I checked them
lot of
out in the locker
stories.
room, and they're not even real Gucci cleats. What they are is they're Nike cleats, but they're painted like the Gucci.
Bootleg Gucci?
A lot of players do that. They're like Nike cleats, but then they're painted with like a Gucci pattern.
Hey, what did Dak get the offensive line? I'm sure the social media put that out there. He probably got him a golf cart or something. It's always something like that, right?
Yeah, I don't know if that's even been put out there yet.
My guy
golf
Jordan
carts again. It might have been golf carts. Yeah.
My guy Jordan Love in Green Bay is taking some heat because he got everyone on the team some $220 Nike Dunks.
Okay.
Yeah, but he probably actually bought them Dunks.
Yeah,
90% of those giveaways are sponsored deals with the team, and
Yeah, you act like giving somebody Nike Dunks on the same
yeah,
level
he
as, like,
probably
I don't know,
actually paid for
giving
those.
them a handful of old fossils.
Yeah, no, Joe Burrow
But
should
when
be
Aaron
taking heat
Rodgers
too.
is giving everybody golf
Ayahuasca?
carts,
Guys, I'm giving you a certificate to come on a
Ayahuasca
retreat with me.
retreats. Yeah, resort.
Go on. We'll go to the hole in the ground.
Yeah, that's all a deal with, like, Yamaha has the thing with the team, and
Well,
they hit up Yamaha
Steelers-
and say Aaron wants to do something, and they collaborate on it's.
The Steelers have half their team retire. And they're like, what happened? I don't know. Aaron took them all on these ayahuasca retreats. And they don't think football's important anymore.
they all don't care and have secret wives now. It's very strange. I'm just kidding. It might not be a secret wife. I do not care, John, at all about the Hall of Fame that much.
Yeah.
But let's do this real quick. Quick Hall of Fame thing. Should Witten be a first ballot Hall of Famer? Because today they announced the 15 Hall of Fame finalists. Willie Anderson, Drew Brees, Jahari Evans, Larry Fitzgerald, Frank Gore. Oh, yeah, Kent's got the graphic there. Torrey Holt, Luke Kuechly, Eli Manning, Terrell Suggs, Adam Vinatieri, Reggie Wayne, Kevin Williams, Jason Witten, Darren Woodson, Marshall Yonda. Now, I know a lot of people want to
All
do
right,
the
throw
Darren
that
Woodson
graphic
thing.
back up.
I don't want to do the Darren Woodson thing because, like, if it happens,
I think
it
Darren
happens.
Woodson should be in over Jason Witten.
Whoa!
Only because of how long he's had to wait. Like, I think Jason Witten's getting in, but I don't think it's a slap in the face to Jason Witten if he's in next year's class. So for me, all right, sorry, throw it up one
So
more time.
pick the 5. Is what I'm telling
okay,
you.
if I'm picking the 5, thanks. If I'm picking the 5, Drew Brees for sure, Larry Fitzgerald.
Sorry, KT had the graphic up, and he's
What do
decided
you
to
do?
do,
Oh,
like,
I
a
did it.
Google
Okay,
something
sorry.
in the middle of the-
So sorry. I was seeing how many get in.
I don't know what you're doing here. You got this Pornhub search. All right, so I got Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Eli Manning.
Oh,
Can you scroll down?
Yes.
we're picking 5 here. I've got my 5 for sure.
Darren Woodson. Man, without looking at the stats, I'm kind of torn on this. Torrey Holt or Reggie Wayne. But yeah, that Torrey Holt, Reggie Wayne, Jason Witten would all be the years on Kuechly. This is tough.
See, Kuechly didn't play long enough.
Yeah,
for
that's
me.
tough on that.
So out.
So yeah, so for me, the only ones I would definitely have over Witten are Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald. You are really killing me.
I'm gonna try to.
I mean,
I was
what
gonna
are
try
you
to.
doing?
I was gonna try to X him out.
We don't have to get cute here, okay? we
Okay, just
Breeze, give me Breeze, Larry Fitzgerald, Eli Manning. Those are the only 3 that I think absolutely have to be in out of that class.
Brees, Fitzgerald, Vinatieri for me.
That's
and I
fine,
don't
too.
like putting
Oh no,
over
when they won
glorifying
those,
kickers.
No,
but
no. I'm completely fine with that. Believe me, when he was as important as anyone on those early Patriots teams for them winning those Super Bowls, hey, I have no argument against it. And anybody that doesn't want to put in Eli Manning, that's cool. I really don't care about what the regular season stats were. The dude put the New York Giants on his back, won 2 Super Bowls, so I'm good with that. That's
to beat the undefeated team.
yeah. Maybe it's only that he had those 2 great seasons. To be the quarterback in the New York Giants and do that, yeah, that's crazy impressive.
They also, and I'm sorry I do this sometimes, but they beat the 15-1 Packers that year, and
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers' best year as a pro,
Yeah.
and he beat them in
Yeah.
Green Bay. Like, sorry, that's
I honestly, you could
all
have
that stuff. It just all adds up. You look at it and you're like, okay,
You
yeah,
can, hey,
kinda
30,
good enough.
30 interception season, fine. Make that throw to Mario Manningham along the sidelines. I raises that 30. I don't care about the regular season stats when you deliver in the post. I really don't.
I care more about situations than stats, I think, when it comes to some of these things. Larry Fitzgerald, to me, is an argument for being the greatest wide receiver of all time. And a lot of people fight me on that.
Yeah.
Like, I do think it's Randy Moss, technically, like in terms of greatest I've ever seen,
Yeah.
right? But like Larry Fitzgerald, with playing with garbage quarterbacks pretty much his entire career, a couple Carson Palmer years sprinkled in there. You know?
I would laugh at a quarterback.
Kurt Warner.
I would laugh at a quarterback that had great regular season stats and said that they would rather have their career than Eli Manning's. I would laugh at them. There's no way that that's true. There's no way.
Romo would rather have Eli Manning's career. Of course he would. Dak would rather have Eli Manning's career. Of course he would.
Do you agree with John?
Obviously.
The fact that if we had been asked this question during Witten's retirement ceremony, everyone probably would have been like, "Oh, first ballot for sure, for sure."
No, and a lot of Cowboys fans probably think that. And I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's obviously done enough to be in that category. I'm just saying that I don't see it being a slap in the face or disrespectful to him if he's not in until the second year. There's plenty of guys that are outstanding that didn't make it that first year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think that's that big of a deal.
No. Hey, that's way more Hall of Fame talk than I wanted to do.
Yeah, sorry.
I apologize.
Well, if you
I'm
would
glad we're on the same
up
page.
graphics.
I know I didn't really fully grasp that I was in charge of the graphics until the end. Hey, look, we've been doing this all year. I've gotten Sod's picks. Let's go ahead and make some picks here because the road to Topeka is heating up, John. As you all know, the loser has to go to Topeka. Right now, John, first place by 2 games and 24 wins. Kent, second place at 22. Me and Sod at 20. We're going to pick games through the playoffs too, so no one get too fired up. I've decided for the first time all year to exclude a Cowboys game. Just not enough on the line for me. I need the action, and the action is the juice.
I'm telling you, man, that 5.5 is the last time I saw it. What the line was at?
I was thinking 7.5. Well,
Oh, yeah, wait, what one?
no, it's 5.5.
No. Let's
I
talk
think
this
it
out
should
real
be
quick.
7.5.
Whoa, one. Did you ever see it at 7.5?
No,
Okay, I was going to say.
no.
For you to tell me that Dak is playing the entire game, I don't know how that line's under 7 or 8.
The Giants.
So when I saw it at like 5.5, I was like, oh, because these dudes know.
Yeah.
They're not, they got some, whether, I don't know how they're getting the information, but they know. And when I saw it at 5.5, I was like, that seems like
Well,
Cowboys aren't playing key players all the way through.
with 4 teams with 3 wins, the Giants, Jets, Titans, and Cardinals, the Giants went ahead and got the win in Vegas on Sunday to let Vegas have the 1 seed. You cannot. Dude, it
It's
was
down
at least
to
in
3.5
Geno's.
at some books right now.
Yeah, because
No
no
way
one
is he
knows.
playing that whole game.
Yeah, he's not.
I mean, but
I'm getting rid of
the
that.
Giants have momentum to play for going into the offseason. You didn't think about that, did you?
Uncle Mo.
Didn't think about that.
I'll just tell you, Geno Smith, perfect guy for a game where you're trying to tank.
Yeah.
Just ripped a slant route to the linebacker. Love it.
You say that, but I would think that you could also implement something like that with, like, I don't know, Russell Wilson, and he throws for 450 and 3 touchdowns, you know?
No, for sure.
So.
Okay. John, we'll start with you. Tampa Bay, Carolina, Saturday, 3:30. Possibly for the NFC South, because the Falcons won last night. The Falcons could win on Sunday and make the Panthers the default NFC South champion, but it looks like a win and get in possibility. Tampa Bay, Carolina, Saturday afternoon. Tampa Bay at home, favorites by 2.5.
I do not trust a single team in that division. But because Tampa Bay is at home, give me Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay minus 2.5. Sod took Tampa Bay minus 2.5. I'm taking Carolina and the points. Baker's kind of ass right now. And
Okay.
Knows he's got the experience and Bryce Young doesn't. But I'll go ahead and take some points here. Rico Dowdle, welcome to the playoffs, my friend. Carolina plus 2.5. Kent, who you got?
Carolina.
Carolina Panthers with sharp teeth and claws. Let's go to the second game. We're going to go Saturday night for the 1 seed. San Francisco at home against Seattle.
Man, these are tough.
San Francisco getting 1 point here, John. Sod took San Francisco plus 1. Kent, who you got?
Yeah, give me the home team, 49ers.
San Francisco plus 1. I am taking San Francisco plus 1. John.
Yeah, that's same.
You know-
Although I see a lot of books have it at plus 1.5. I'll still go with it. 1. Let's go.
I'm comfortable in making it 1.5 just so we don't have a 1 point game tie.
That's fine.
Okay. I'm changing it, guys, to 1.5. You keeping your vote there? Kent?
Oh, in that case, no. Yeah, of course.
No one's trusting Sam Darnold in this game. Like, I hate to say it, and look, I owe so many apologies to Brock Purdy more than I owe any apologies to Sam Darnold. Had a lot of bad Brock Purdy takes over the years, including last week when the game fired up and I said, hey, look, Stranger Things is on because he's one of the kids now. Jeez. San Francisco plus 1.5. All right, we all did that. Third game, Kent, you'll lead us off here. Baltimore-Pittsburgh. We are in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is 3.5-point favorites. I kind of...
That's not right.
Did it change?
No, it's always been. Baltimore is a 3.5-point favorite. They're
I'm sorry. Pittsburgh's getting 3.5?
Yeah. Baltimore opened at minus 4.5. It's now minus 3.5 for the Ravens on the road.
Okay. My apologies. This is what happens when I start freaking out. Okay, Kent. So Pittsburgh plus 3.5 at home.
I'll take Pittsburgh.
Aaron Rodgers plus 3.5 for Kent. I'm taking Baltimore minus 3.5. I've seen Aaron Rodgers choke in big games too often. Not on my watch. Okay, so Pitt plus 3.5 for Kent. Baltimore minus 3.5 for me. John, I'll tell you, Sod took Pittsburgh plus 3.5.
Yeah, Pittsburgh. Again, I lean too much towards this, but they're at home. Rivalry game. I like Tomlin. I don't dislike Rodgers. I don't dislike Rodgers as much as you. So I'll go with Pittsburgh.
All right. Looking juicy here. There could be a little.
Let's do it.
The road to Topeka is heating up. I've already started to look online, see what there's to do there.
On a bed and breakfast.
Take a little drive up there, Topeka.
Okay.
Have some pancakes.
Find a beet farm.
Find a beet farm. Okay, Dwight. All right, that'll do it for us. Thank you for checking us out on the Haymaker Network here in Frisco, Texas. Give that a follow at Haymaker Network, YouTube, Instagram, all the social media places that you might go. A lot of stuff happening there. New show called House of Haymaker coming very soon as well on the Haymaker Network, as well as the Haymaker Presents series. The last interview they put up was with Ian Kinsler, if we have any Rangers fans listening. If not, lots of good interviews with Cowboys luminaries as well over the years, so go check that out. For Saad Youssef, who is doing some radio work and not here with us, for Kent Garrison, for John Machota over at The Athletic, I'm Kevin Turner. Happy New Year, everybody. We'll see you in 2026.
The One Star Cowboys Podcast. The One Star Cowboys Podcast. The One Star Cowboys Podcast. Presented by Haymaker. Presented by Haymaker. Presented by Haymaker.